Hello learners, welcome to Education Online program. I'm teacher Regina Massimo, teaching you biology for Senior 3 and Senior 4. Our topic is Rominant digestive system. Rominant digestive system. This is the third type of digestive system in animal. Because when we started learning about animal digestive system or digestive system in animal, we came to learn that there are 4 types of digestive system that based on the type of nutrient or the type of food the animal obtained from the environment. So the first one was monogastric digestive system, that was represented by the digestive system in human being, in dog, in cat. Then we discussed the structures of digestive system in human being, and their functions or the food processing that under the first digestive system type. The second one about the avian digestive system, that was the digestive system in the birds. When we say birds, we mean the chicken we have at home, the pigeon, and the other wild birds even. So this is the third type of the digestive system, is ruminant digestive system. This type of digestive system, it has a large stomach. Has a large stomach. This large stomach is divided into 4 chambers. When we say chambers, we mean the rooms. 4 chambers. Has 4 chambers, like this in this diagram here. This is the stomach as whole, but it is divided into 4 chambers. That means into 4 rooms. The first one is reticulum, then ruminant, omasum, abomasum. These are the chambers, or these are the rooms. Chambers or rooms. An animal with this type of digestive system, they feed on roughage. Animals with this type of digestive system, they feed on roughage. Roughage are the food stuff with a high fiber and low energy. Roughage is the food stuff with a high fiber and low energy. It is opposite of monogastric digestive system. Monogastric digestive system, which was represented by human being, cat, and dog, they feed on concentrates. The concentrates are the food stuff high in energy and low in fiber. So this one, the type of the food they eat, it is high in fiber and low in energy. Because the animal that have this type of digestive system, these are the cattle. Cattle, sheep, goat, and so on. These are the animals. They have ruminant digestive system. And we know very well these animals, they feed on grass. Let me say generally they feed on plant. feed on plants. And in plants, we know very well the plants, the cells of the plants, are surrounded by cell wall. That cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cellulose. Cellulose is a sugar, very complex sugar. There's no enzyme that can digest this cellulose in the body of living organisms or in the body of animal, specifically the mammals. At the same time, these plants, they store what? They store starch. This also type of sugar is starch. This one, the one is stored as a food. It's easy to digest, can be digested by enzyme called amylase. Amylase can digest starch. But cellulose has no enzyme in the body of animal or in the body of mammals. So we shall come and see how cellulose are digested, because these animals, they feed on plants, and plants contain cellulose, which makes which build up the cell wall of the plant cell. That's why we said the ruminant, they differ from monogastric animals in that there are differences. They differ in that they swallow their food in high quantity with little chewing. This is the ruminant. They differ from the monogastric in that they swallow food in high quantity, quantity with little chewing. Then again, they bring up the food to be rechewed. Later they will ruminate. That means later they will bring up the food into after being swallowed, then they bring it back to the mouth to be chewed again, then sent back to the stomach. Again will be brought up into the mouth. So the food that is brought back into the mouth from the stomach, known as cat, because ruminant, they swallow food in high quantity with little chewing. Later they will ruminate, they chew again, then they swallow again. In monogastro or monogastric animals, nothing of that kind happens. The animal eats, the food reaches the stomach, then brought back or vomited back to the mouth to be rechewed and swallowed again. That is not taking place in the monogastric animal, but it takes place in the ruminant. They eat very high quantity of food in little chewing. That means they don't chew it efficiently. Then they swallow it. Again with time, they vomit it back to the mouth to rechew it, then swallow it. So this is the difference between the ruminant and monogastric animal. So let us look at the structures of ruminant digestive system. Ruminant digestive system. The structure of ruminant digestive system. The digestive system in ruminant, it is start at mouth. The structures of ruminant digestive system. The structures of ruminant digestive system. The digestive tract start at mouth and end up in the anus. It starts from mouth, then end up. It starts from mouth, then end up at the anus. So the first one is the mouth. As I said, the ruminants are represented by cattle, sheep, goat, and so on, and they feed on refuge. Refuge are the food stuff with a high fiber and low energy. That is a plant. Generally, we say it is plant. All types of plant they feed on, and we know very well the plant cell is made up of cellulose. That the animal cell wall is made up of cellulose, and this cellulose is a type of sugar. Is polysaccharide. It doesn't have any enzyme in the animal, specifically the mammals, to digest it, but we shall see how they are digested. The mouth is a entry point of food. Yes, but when you look at the ruminant, they don't have upper incisors. This is the type of teeth we found it in the front. So in the upper jaw, they lack that incisors. No incisors, but they have that part very hard. The incisors are found in the lower jaw, but those of premolars and molars, they match. They are matching. That means the one at the upper jaw with the ones at the lower jaws, they match properly, so they can be used for grinding. So this animal which lack the incisors, we find that mouth and tongue helping the animal to harvest the food, to tear the plants. Here the mouth plus the tongue used for tearing the plant or the food or fodder. This is the food of animal fodder, whether it is a grass or any type of plant. They use the mouth with the tongue for tearing the or for harvesting the food for consumption. Then that food, when it is grinded, will be sent to the esophagus. That means the food enters from the mouth here after being harvested for the consumption by the help of mouth and tongue. Then we'll reach to the second structure, which is esophagus. And esophagus, it is a tube-like organ. It is very long. Esophagus. It is a tube-like organ. It takes the food into the stomach. So it is a passage for food. Passage for food. Leading into, when you look at it, leading into reticulum and rumen. This is the esophagus, which is the passage of the food, is leading into the reticulum and the rumen. And this is the stomach. The stomach of the ruminant divided into 4 rooms. These are the first and the second room. Rumen is very big than the reticulum. So when you look at the structure here, the esophagus leading into reticulum here and the rumen here. The rumen covers all this area up to here. Then we come to the stomach, which is this part. This is the stomach, which is divided into 4 rooms. From mouth to esophagus, then from the esophagus coming to the stomach. So the third structure is the stomach. The stomach is divided or is made up of 4 chambers. The third structure is the stomach, divided into 4 chambers or compartment or rooms. These are all synonyms. The reticulum is located next to the heart. This is the first room. It's called reticulum, which is this, located next to the heart. And it is honeycomb appearance, having what? Honeycomb appearance. It looks like the comb of that honeybee. That means divide it into small rooms or small holes. It looks like that. And its function is to trap the foreign body. They are to trap the foreign body. Because during the feeding, you'll find the animal will take the plants with some foreign body like hard wires, such as nails or wires. So it functions to trap all this, to trap foreign body like hard wires, sometimes maybe nails or wires. And it has no enzyme. No enzyme at this wall is released. No enzyme. No enzyme. This is the room number 1. Coming to the second room, which is rumen. It is the largest section of the stomach. Rumen, which is this one from here. So it is the largest section of the stomach. It contains microorganisms. These microorganisms like bacteria and fungi, some protozoas. These are the microorganisms contained in this section of the stomach. The second section, which is the largest one, is called rumen. it contains this. So what's the function of containing all this? These microorganisms are to break down the roughage through fermentation, because we say that roughage, these are the food stuff with high fibers, low energy. This fiber needs digestion, which are the cellulose. It needs to be digested so that the energy can be released of that. And there's no enzyme that can break down the cellulose, or the enzyme that can break out the fibers. So these protozoas are the one helping the ruminant, because they are the one will release the enzyme. That's why their function is to break down the roughage through fermentation. So in fermentation, if this sugar cellulose is fermented, that means the result will be alcohol plus water plus carbon dioxide. And this is the type of respiration that takes place in the absence of oxygen. Even this organism, they are the one making the enzyme, or the one producing protein and some of vitamins like vitamin B. They are the one making or synthesizing the protein. Because they are the one making the amino acids. And amino acids are the building block of protein. They are building blocks of protein. So the function of this living organism, they are to digest the roughage through the fermentation to produce the amino acids, which are the building blocks of the protein, plus vitamins. This in the second room of the stomach, or the second section of the stomach. The third one is omasum. This one here. At this part of the stomach, this is where the grinding takes place, so that the size of the particle to be reduced for the enzymatic action. Because in the fourth section of the stomach, in abomasum, here, this is the real stomach, where the digestion will start taking place. So the food is prepared from here, from the third room, omasum. In this omasum, grinding of food takes place. That means they are preparing that food for the enzymatic action. That's why I say it here. Grinding the food, or to reduce the particle size for enzymatic action in the fourth room, and absorption of some water from the food. No enzyme from the wall. That means even in this room, no enzyme. No enzyme here, no enzyme here, no enzyme here. We are going to get the enzyme in the fourth chamber of the stomach. But what is taking place here is the grinding, reducing the size of the food into its smallest particles, preparing it for the fourth room. So this room number 3 is omasum. This one has no enzyme in their wall. Is the one grinding the food to reduce it into the smallest particle. The smallest particles. And these smallest particles are prepared for enzymatic digestion or action. From there, we come to the fourth room, which is the abomasum. The fourth room, abomasum. And this is the true stomach. Since it's a true stomach, because it resembles the stomach in the monogastric animal. So here you'll find hydrochloric acid and the release of pepsin enzyme, pepsin and lipase. We know this hydrochloric acid is to kill the microbes so that to prevent it from entering into the body. The pepsin is to, not pepsin, the amylase. This pepsin is to break down the protein. Lepsin to break down the lipids. Pepsin and renin all are found in this part. Then from there we'll come to the small intestine. These are the small intestine where most of the absorptions take place. The small intestine, most of the absorption take place in the site, and it is divided into duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. This small intestine is normally this is the site where number 1, 2, 3, this 4 is small intestine. This is where all the absorptions take place and where the digestion even complete itself. Then from there the food moves to the large intestine. The large intestine is normally divided into 3. The large intestine is divided into cecum, colon, and rectum. Rectum is where these waste materials are stored until the time it's come out as form of feces. That means from this one up to here, this is the example of large intestine make up of cecum and colon. And colon, this is the place where most of the water are absorbed from undigested food, because from the colon coming to the rectum, this is where the waste materials are kept, waiting for its time to come out of the body. The fifth one is the large intestine. These are absorption of water from undigested food. Then the food is removed, the waste material removed out of the body. From the rectum. Waste material are removed out of the body from the rectum. Dear listeners, thanks for watching. We have come to our